We did it. We reached 100 subscribers. I cannot tell you guys how happy I am that we have finally done this. After years and years and years of trying, we have finally managed to break that 100 subscriber milestone. I can't tell you guys how happy I am, but I really, honest to God, I want to thank all of you guys for just, subbing and sticking around. Because really, as cliche as it sounds, this isn't possible without you guys. And it's cliche to say that it's a cliche, but you get the idea. Like, I can't do this myself. I'm not going to make 100 alt accounts and then sub to myself. That's pointless. I made videos, and you guys liked them, and you guys said, yes, I want to see more, and you subscribed. So seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I thought to commemorate such a milestone, we could take a little trip down memory lane with my time here on YouTube. Now, before we can even start with this channel, we need to go all the way back to 2006, 2007, give or take. So, I heard about this site from my brother, who heard it from his friends, who heard it from their friends, and their friends, and their friends. Now keep in mind, social media really wasn't that much of a thing. Facebook had only been online for a couple of years, and Twitter was just starting up. Instagram and Snapchat were way off, so when you heard about a site, it was through word of mouth or through an email or something, or maybe you got a text message. But, back in the day, YouTube, honestly, I think YouTube was a lot better back in like 2006, 2007 for the most part, because it really was just, a site you put a video on. It wasn't this heavily censored, corporate bullshit that we have now. But, you also really couldn't make money, so, it's pros and cons here. But I remember one of the first videos I watched was Crazy Frog Axel F, if anyone remembers that. To all the parents out there, sorry if we annoyed you by playing that song on repeat. It was that. There was one of those If You Laugh, You Lose compilations that had Daft Punk in the background. That one just fucking made me put me in stitches. And there was also Paintball Headshot, and I would link it, but I guarantee you if I look it up, there's going to be a ton. It was one video, it was this kid playing paintball, he got nailed in the fucking dome, and the way his head snapped back was just the funniest thing in the world. And from then on, I just started watching whatever I really could find. One thing I really got attached to as the years went on was Anoj's Top 10. If anybody remembers that, he did a lot of top 10s on many different categories in Call of Duty and Halo. I absolutely love that stuff. I ate it up, and it was so cool. I think I might have sent in a clip or two that never got in, which is to be expected. So I followed his stuff. I also followed a lot of Red vs. Blue, because I first found out about them through a compilation of Caboose that my brother had showed me. So that got me into the series. And then I watched way too much of Arby and the Chief. And this was back when YouTube came pre-installed on your iPod. And the beauty of that was you could actually save videos and not really have to worry about making an account. Obviously you need an account, but back then it was a lot of stuff for me to take in as a kid. And slowly but surely I kind of got myself situated with the site. I watched a ton of YouTube poops. Like, one of my favorite was CS188. That guy, I watched every YTP I could of him. I don't know what it was with him, but nothing really could compare to what I was watching at the time. I don't know, maybe if I just was so fixated on him that I said, fuck it, I'm gonna just watch his stuff, or if I just really didn't like anybody else's stuff. But I watched a lot of YTPs. A lot of the really big, old SpongeBob YTPs were good. I think it was like SpongeBill. I'm trying to remember all this from memory right now. But yeah, over time, I started thinking, ooh, this would be kind of cool to do. And it really wasn't until about 2010 when I started doing this. Now, if memory serves, I was in intermediate school. Now, obviously it's different in every school district, but in my district, we used to have elementary, middle, and high school. This was until my town built a new high school, so it became elementary. The old middle school was now the intermediate school, and the old high school was the middle school, and then there's obviously the new high school. So I was in maybe I think 6th grade or so when this happened. I met a kid. We'll call him Josh, just for privacy's sake. So he was a good friend of mine. Whatever he's doing right now, I don't know. I haven't talked to him in years. I hope he's doing well though. Josh, you know who you are. If you see this, man, hello. Hope all is well. But we got together and we started making a YouTube channel, and this was called LaxGoalie151, and this began my time here on the site. And at first we did these little skits, and this went on for a while, probably up until maybe 8th grade or freshman year of high school. We made these little skits. I was sort of the quote-unquote brains, if you want to put it like that, because I was really focusing more on, what's going to happen and who's going to do what, and he was more of the editing, kind of the brains, or the brawn, one of the two, of the whole shebang. And at some point, this was in the middle of the whole Let's Play craze, so I started actually doing Let's Plays. And it was quite an ingenious setup, to be honest. I had a not-so-legit copy of Bandicam, I will admit. And at the time, I didn't have a webcam or a microphone. So what I would do is I would position my iPod in such a way to where it was looking at me and recording my voice. So what I would do is I would start the recording on the iPod, and then I would, do like 3, 2, 1, bang, and like when I said bang, I'd start recording, and then that's where I would, sync everything up. And that's really how I did a lot of my Let's Plays. It was with my super duper crap computer, with an iPod for both camera and microphone, playing, whatever game I could really run well on my PC at the time. Not very good. And over time, Josh and I would make videos together less and less, but I would make videos more often than him. So I went to him one day, I said, hey man, is it cool if I take over the channel? It's nothing personal, it's just, I'm doing a lot of stuff on this channel and you're kind of just there in the background. He goes, oh yeah, that's fine, I'm gonna go do my own thing. And he did. He ended up doing a music visualizers, like NCS and shit, how they have, something going on, while music plays. That's what he did for a while. Don't really know what happened to that. Last I checked, he was making it, but that was years ago. So I took over the channel and I continued my Let's Plays of, these, I wouldn't say low quality, but low graphical quality videos, something that could run on my PC without blowing it up. And soon enough, I started making videos with a very good friend of mine. And we made Gmod videos and Trouble in Terrorist Town videos and CSS videos, and this went on for a good couple years. My buddy had his own channel. He actually had 2 channels, come to think of it, one after the other. And while my videos were, low quality, his were high quality because he actually had a good PC to play on. I didn't. And we played for a while, and at some point, I kind of went back to doing my own thing. I actually ended up doing a couple of stop-motion Lego videos at some point, because I somehow got into that. It was actually a lot of fun, to be honest. I don't know how many I made, probably at least maybe 10 or 15. Unfortunately, they're lost to the sands of time. I can't find them on my PC anywhere. I can't find them on the internet anywhere. So we're just sort of stuck in this weird, I guess, nostalgic limbo where I want to watch them again, but I can't, so I kind of have to think about what I did. But with my buddy, him and I actually did a couple of real-life videos, sort of like Call of Duty in real life, if anyone remembers those. Those were fucking crazy at the time. I don't know why. But we did that kind of stuff, and obviously it was 2 kids with a shit camera and a tripod and too much time on their hands, so we ended up just doing that. And I'll be honest, I still go back and I watch them a little bit, because I was younger then. I had more time in my life, and it's kind of a little portal to the past, if you will. Obviously not this channel, but, the first channel. So, at some point in about 2014, where we're getting to this channel's birth, I didn't really want to do Let's Plays. I didn't really want to do these, TTT videos. I wanted to actually do commentaries. So what I did was, while I was on my first channel, on the Laxgoli channel, the last month of that channel's life, I was actually setting up this channel, which didn't actually start as Legion 2K. I was actually known as All Around Gamer. Literally, I do not know why. I cannot tell you. This was 5 years ago. I was 15 at this point. Actually, no, I think I was 14. Yeah, I was 14 going on 15. I just, like, I don't know. When I was making the channel, I thought to myself, what would be a good name? And I was throwing up ideas, and that one kind of popped in, and I said, hey, I like that. I want that. And I ended up going for it. I literally cannot tell you why, but I did. So we move into 2014 as All Around Gamer. Laxgoli stays up for a little bit, and then I take it down. Now, at this point, I had gotten a quote-unquote better PC. It really wasn't that much better. It was an upgrade, don't get me wrong. It was an upgrade. It just wasn't, you know, a substantial upgrade. I don't remember what was in it. The one thing I do remember was it had an NVIDIA GeForce 210, and I cringe every time I think about it, because that card is absolute shit. But, yeah, no, I went into it doing commentaries, and I actually had a notepad file of ideas that I wanted to talk about. And I had a good few ideas. You know, I'm not saying that they, you know, some are good, some are bad, but when I say a good few, I mean I had like several topics I was going to talk about, and it quickly became apparent that I needed to constantly update this list to have different ideas to talk about, because I was going through them pretty fucking quickly. So I had a choice to make. I could either stop making videos and just browse the site like normal, or I could just keep going and think of something else, and think of something else I did. On top of my commentary videos, I actually started to make League of Legends videos, and they were not very good, obviously. I was still All Around Gamer at this point, and these videos were the League funtages, so think of like the old Kiori and Sky Williams and Donkey, that kind of stuff, you know, these little shit shows that you threw together, and you uploaded them and you prayed somebody was watching them. So, you know, you'd have to be like loud and obnoxious and good. I was two of those things. You can probably figure out which one I wasn't at the time, or still am. But I made those for quite a while, and it was at some point I decided to rebrand as Legion 2K, because my summoner name in League was Legion 2K, and my Steam name was Legion 2K, and I really didn't want to keep All Around Gamer going, because I thought that makes me sound like a tool, and saying it out loud, yes it does. So I changed it to Legion 2K, and I started rebranding myself. So it wasn't until 2016 or maybe 2016. It wasn't until then where Legion 2K really, you know, came to life and was born and was, you know, a solid foundation. And I would make more League videos. I actually made something called Learning the Champ, which was basically where I would play a certain champion, whatever it was, and just try to get an S. At first it was an A, and then I got an A within, like, I think maybe the first episode or two of it, so I said, fuck it, we're gonna go for an S. And that actually kind of followed that whole League funtage thing, but it was a more analytical, I guess you could say, as analytical as like a low silver could have been at the time. Think about like Red Mercy kind of videos, like, you know, talking about what's going on, what my plan's gonna be. But I did that for a little while, and then I kind of stopped uploading a bit. I was still uploading, but just not to the same frequency. In fact, I think I was maybe uploading a video or two a month. I mean, obviously I'm doing that now, but there's a bit more effort put in. So we get to 2017, and actually the end of 2016 into 2017, and I promise you this all plays in. So when I was a junior in high school, I took video game design, which is basically just learning Flash, which, for anybody who uses Flash, knows that it's buggy as shit, and on top of that, it's coding. And at the time, I was really interested in computer programming and, you know, coding, software design, all that kind of shit. No idea why. I think I just had this bullshit idea of what it was like when I was wrong. And I went into game design, and I actually did pretty well. You know, I was expecting, like, oh, I'll go and I'll get, like, a C-, and I'll call it a day, and I think I ended up with, like, a B or something. So I thought, okay, you know, this is pretty good, I got this, I'm gonna go for Java. Now, the way that classes were structured in my school, in my high school, was you had academic, accelerated, and AP. Now, obviously, academic is your usual shit. Accelerated is obviously you're learning at a faster pace, and there's probably going to be some more difficult material. And then AP is literally just college-level courses. Now, if you were to look at it, if you were to call game design Java, and obviously Java is Java, game design is academic Java, and Java is accelerated Java. And I went into that, and I thought, you know what, this is going to be good. I got game design, I can do Java. And for the first semester, honestly, things were good. I was doing well, I was handing in these assignments that were pretty good, I was getting A's and B's and shit, and then semester 2 happened, and I got hit with what I can only describe as the coding equivalent of an 18-wheeler to the forehead, because before the knob was at 2, and then we went up to about 22, and I thought, boy howdy, this is not fun. So I ended up befriending this one kid who I still somewhat talk to. We'll call him Matt, why not? He seems like a Matt. So I befriended this kid named Matt. Now the thing with him is that he was really, really good at coding. Like, it's ridiculous. We would get an assignment, we'd have to code it, hand it in either that day or the next day. Matt would do this in about 15 to 20 minutes and then spend the rest of class coding his own shit. It was wicked cool, but I struggled. So, you know, I befriended him and one of his buddies, and we're pretty good friends, I'd like to say. And I'm not gonna lie, Matt may or may not have done my assignments for me. A few of them, not a lot, you know. He would help me out, but there would be times where he would just say, here, give me the keyboard. And he would just bang out the code, and boy, it would work perfectly. And I was like, wow, thanks, Matt, you're so cool. So how does Matt and Java play into the channel? Well, he had told me about a PC he had built, and how it was, you know, it had this in it and that, and it could run every game, you know, 1080p, 60 FPS, actually above 60 FPS, you know, high graphical setting, this, that, and the other thing. And I told him, like, I had always wanted to build a PC, but I really never, you know, I didn't know how to attack it. I didn't want to, you know, get all the parts, and it turns out, oh, they don't work together or something. So he actually helped me out and brought me to PC Part Picker, as many people do, and he walked me through building a PC. What I wanted in it, you know, what I was looking for. Actually, what I was looking for was one of the first ones. He's like, do you want a PC that'll last a year? Do you want something that's going to last longer? It's like, I want something that's going to last a while, because why else would I not? So we put the build together, and I hung on to it for a little bit. I said, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, like, when the best time to do it would be. And the best time was tax season. So I get my W-2 forms, I fill out my taxes, tax returns come in, covers 75% of my build. I'm not even kidding. My build came out at the time to $1,010. I got a tax return of $752, so that's 75% if I'm not mistaken. I'm not good at math, I will say that right now. I am not good at math. But anyways, this is in January-ish, February, when I finally get the money back. So I go through, I start placing the orders for everything. For the case, for the motherboard, GPU, CPU, hard drives, RAM, everything I needed. And my buddy Matt told me, he said, okay, when you get everything, let me know, I'll come over and help you set it up. With a totally legit copy of Windows 10. I didn't say that. So eventually in March, he gets the text, hey, all the stuff's here, you ready to go? So he comes over with this massive fucking set of screwdrivers and every other thing you're gonna need, like thermal paste and like scrapers and washing materials and all that fun jazz, basically. And he starts walking me through the steps of building a PC. Everything I need to do, everything I need to be careful of, everything that I need to do in order to make sure this thing is put together properly and that it works. So we spent about 3 hours putting this thing together. Very, very careful. I was like stupidly careful with this thing. I was like, okay, like make sure we're being like super surgically precision about this because I don't want to fucking break it. Because it was my money. In essence, it's my money. I don't want to break something that's mine. I don't want to break things, period. But you get the idea. So eventually, we get this thing put together 3 hours later. And obviously during this time, we're downloading, software so we can, we don't have to download it later. So that way the PC can be operational right away. Well, what happened with the old PC is that nobody's asking, but we're going to go with anyways because it's detrimental to the story, I guess. So I took out the old hard drive and my buddy Matt said, hey, can I have this? I was like, yeah, sure. I really don't have any use for it. He said he was turning it into a server. I don't know how that PC's doing, honestly, haven't asked, don't really care, it's not my problem anymore. So now we have the PC that I'm currently on, and it's been almost 3 years. So what happens? Well, obviously, we have a very good PC, and we have better graphical quality. So now we can start making higher quality videos. What my first video actually was, if you go back far enough, was a Rocket League video. I think it was a Road to Diamond. This was back when I used to suck ass at Rocket League. Going in, I just said, fuck it, we're gonna do this. And my first video actually wasn't in 30 FPS, or it wasn't in 60 FPS, it was actually in 30 FPS. Because back then I used to use Camtasia, and if anybody has used Camtasia, you would know, at least I don't know if it's changed, but you would know that back then you couldn't export in 60 FPS, you had a 30 FPS cap. I didn't realize this until I was, going to render it, and I saw, oh, there's no way you can render in 60 FPS, WTF, and I looked it up, and they're like, oh, we're sorry, but Camtasia cannot render in 60 FPS, but we'll get it in the future. I haven't checked, I don't care. So I said, alright, fine. So I started looking out, into the wastelands of the internet and said, alright, what can I find? What can I, make that will allow, me to find a program that, maybe renders in 60 FPS? And I found Sony Vegas. And I thought, wow, Sony Vegas. That's cool, because I don't want to use After Effects and Premiere. I like my everything, all of my editing in just one fucking area. Because it's easier instead of doing it in one thing and then exporting it and doing it in another thing, which might crash, and is also a subscription-based service, so fuck that. I got Vegas, and you can imagine how much I paid for Vegas if you look in my past when it comes to editing and video recording software. Anyways, so I started learning Vegas, I learned the different types of tricks and whatnot, and I started making more Rocket League videos. And this would be eventually Road to Champion for 2s and Road to Diamond for 1s, and that's pretty much what I did for a while. And I wanted to make a Road to Gold series. That got maybe 1 or 2 episodes, and then I said, fuck it, this isn't fun, I want to do Rocket League. So we did that for a while, and eventually, at some point, we moved over to CSGO Overwatch videos. And I'm trying to get that back, don't worry, I'm still, grinding away a bit, trying to get my rank up so I can get Gold Nova so I can get Overwatch back. Because I know some of you guys actually really like that stuff. But we did that for a good while because, honestly, it was a lot of fun to do. And I stopped playing CS because I was just bored of it. And by that, by that choice, I ended up losing my Overwatch status. So Counter-Strike basically became, I need to play this because I need to make videos. And at some point, I just didn't care anymore, and I went on a hiatus for about a month or so, I want to say. And in that time, I kind of restructured my ideas a little bit, seeing what could work and tossing out what wasn't going to happen. And eventually we came back, and I made a video stating where I had been, and I haven't seen it, but I think I might have said something along the lines of, like, I've been trying to figure out what I need to do for the channel, but, you know, we're back and hopefully gonna get, you know, underway again with making videos, and this is probably 2018-ish, give or take, at this point. And I was trying to figure out what to do, and I needed a break, so I hopped on YouTube, and I saw Soundsmith, the TF2 YouTuber, and it was one of his stereotype videos, and it was, I think it was a new one, and I was like, oh boy, new stereotypes, so I went and I watched it, and eventually, in my head, I realized, holy shit, I should do this, and thus, I started writing skin stereotypes. And I kind of want to talk about that a little bit, because after I had watched that, I just went out for a drive. I don't know why. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go for a drive because I can. And as I was driving around, I was thinking about, you know, the stereotypes and how I would do it. You know, obviously you can't do weapon stereotypes because everyone uses their, you know, auto attack. You can't really do item stereotypes because that is incredibly vague and stupid, because a lot of champions will use the same items. And I thought, well, I could do skins, because, you know, skins are kind of like the misc stereotypes or the hat stereotypes. You know, it's a different look for the character, and they can mean different things. And I started thinking about who I could stereotype, and that's when I thought of Vayne. So immediately what I did, I pulled into a Wendy's parking lot, whipped out my phone, and just started writing down whatever ideas I had had for Vayne at that point. You know, I wrote down which skin it was, and then what the stereotype would be. And that really kick-started this whole stereotype series, and I said, alright, the second I get home, you know, kicking off the shoes, and I'm going to start writing the script. And that's what I got home about 15 or so minutes later, immediately went to my PC, started just writing the script. I didn't worry about the intro or the outro. I just wanted to get the stereotypes down in, you know, in detail, so that way I didn't have to do it later, and I did. And from that day on, I started making stereotype videos, and I honestly love doing that. It's a lot of fun. I get to, you know, flex my creativity, I get to meme a little bit, and I get to copy Soundsmith, because let's be real, who on this fucking site actually has an original idea anymore? Now, I won't, you know, parade the whole, you know, stealing ideas is wrong. It's one thing to take an idea and just sort of re-upload it, if that makes sense. Like, if you kind of take the same memes and, you know, lines in the script, like, if Soundsmith had made a remark that said, like, people who use this hat are probably, you know, puppy-kicking, dumpster fire-starting assholes, and I said people who use this skin are puppy-kicking, dumpster fire-starting assholes, like, you know, that might be a little bit on the copying side. Now, it's another thing to take an idea and transform it into something different. Obviously, yes, in skin stereotypes, I talk about war pigs, which is in hat stereotypes for Soundsmith's TF2. I will not try to hide the fact that, yes, my war pigs kind of follow the same idea as his war pigs, but he really was like a massive inspiration to me, and I wanted to see, you know, how I could run it, how I could take this whole, you know, making fun of people for using cosmetics in game idea and making a series out of it. And, well, here we are now. It's honestly one of my most successful series. If you look at any of my other videos, you know, any of my League of Legends videos, any of my Rocket League videos, they do okay, but they don't do great. You know, obviously, recently, skin stereotypes, I haven't been getting the massive amount of views I would have liked, but for the most part, you know, these stereotype videos actually are good. It's something that really nobody else is doing. And don't worry, it's not based off of that Fortnite skin stereotypes. I'm not a, you know, a fucking child. Hell, I even stated it in the first episode that I was basing it off of Soundsmith skin hat stereotypes. And it was funny, I was actually looking up skin stereotypes just to see where my video was being placed, and the first, I think, 6 or 7 results were all Fortnite. And I was like, oh, someone else is doing this. Got it. But it's for a different game, so I'm safe. But at the same time, god damn it. Gonna be real, haven't watched any of them, have no interest in watching them. Maybe I will to see if, you know, what it's like, it's probably the same thing if we're being real. But, you know, since Skin Stereotypes started, you know, I've really been doing a lot better on YouTube. I've seen a lot more growth in the last maybe year or so that I've been doing this. Or actually, no, I think it's a year and a half, come to think of it. Or no, it is a year, because we just passed it. So, yeah, within the last year or so of doing Stereotypes, we've seen a lot of growth, and I'm very happy about that. You know, I've also done, you know, a couple of Rocket League montages and the Trackmania videos. I promise both of those are coming back as well. It's just a case of getting, you know, clips together and whatnot. But through all that, now we're here. We have reached 100 subs, and it only took 9 years in total, if you count both channels. It only took 9 years of hard work and dedication. And I think that's kind of really the point of this video, is that, you know, there are people who hop on YouTube, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people who hop on YouTube, and they say, alright, I'm gonna make videos, I'm gonna get big. I never once jumped into YouTube and thought, I'm gonna get big. I jumped into YouTube with, I want to make videos because it's fun. I'm gonna make these videos because I can, and I'm just gonna see how it goes. And there are people who, you know, would make a few videos, not see a lot of growth, and then drop out, and then maybe upload like one video every 7 months. You know, I feel like it's kind of, actually, it is very hard to get noticed on the site, especially nowadays with the number of people on it. Like, you really gotta find a way to stand out. I mean, obviously, you know, Skin Stereotypes isn't the new series that's sweeping the site and causing everybody to collectively shit themselves, because they're not making that kind of ideas and they're not getting that kind of viewership. But, you know, it's something I do that kind of makes me stand out a bit from the League crowd, because in League, you know, you have stream highlight videos and, you know, Red Mercy type shit and all that kind of stuff. But doing, you know, kind of this whole, hey, let's take your skin and make fun of it, nobody's really doing that. So that's why I'm doing it, and hopefully it all, you know, works out even better for me. But, you know, again, this whole 9-year, I guess, crusade, if you want to go that far, of trying to get 100 subs, again, it's hard work and dedication. I was uploading week after week after week after week, and, you know, I wanted to see some growth, but I also just wanted to make videos because it was fun. And obviously it's finally paid off after all those years of hard work. So really, for anybody, whether you're, you know, just starting or you're, you know, you've been making videos for a while, honestly, just keep at it. At some point you're gonna get some growth, and obviously at first you're gonna get nothing. You're not gonna get any growth. You're not gonna, you know, get 100,000 subs overnight unless you make some stupid meme video that people just abuse the hell out of. But, you know, you just sort of work at it and hope you get the best possible outcome, and that's kind of what has happened to me. And honestly, along the way, I've met a lot of cool people. I think one of my favorites, actually, is if you guys watched the Zed Stereotypes video, that Galaxy Slayer Zedbit was by Coreva, which, for those of you who don't know, was actually the voice of the guy in that one manga reading video where the girl's like, please give me huggy wuggies, ooh woo. What the fuck are you saying? Like, that was him. I didn't realize that at first. You know, I put the script up on r/record this. I said, hey, I'll give you $5 if you want to fucking do it. And at first I had a few auditions, and they were actually pretty good. And then Coreva just came out of fucking nowhere and just blew the whole thing out of the water. And I decided right then and there, I was like, this is the guy. I need to use this guy, because he's fucking amazing. And again, it wasn't until I was making the video and putting it all together that I went to his channel and actually saw in his popular uploads that, and I realized, oh, it's this guy. Okay, that's good. But, you know, I'm kind of out of things to say at this point. I've kind of said what I've wanted to say, and, you know, it's just, again, it's all thanks to you guys for, you know, coming out and supporting me every week, or I guess every other week at this point, because I don't really have anything. to offer in the in-between weeks, because trying to make a stereotypes video every week is actually a lot of work. And if I don't have multiple scripts set up, I'm gonna have to make one script, put that video together, and immediately start writing the next, and I really don't like doing that. So this video is probably gonna be up maybe a week or so after I record this. It's the 26th of August, so I don't know when this is gonna go up, hopefully soon. But, you know, again, I've said it already, and I've said it a bunch, but seriously, thank you guys so much for helping me reach this goal. A goal that I set out to achieve 9 years ago, and finally, after so many years, it's finally happened. And I can't wait to reach 200 with you guys, 300, 400, 500, 1,000. I don't know, we'll just have to see how this whole YouTube thing pans out. I'm gonna be real, I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, and if I do stop, it's not gonna be for a very long time. So guys, this is it for me for right now. I want to thank you all so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Thank you all so much for 100 subscribers. My name is Legion2K. Thank you all so much for helping me out, and I'll see you later.